She loved acting. I think that she tried many, many parts, some of which she probably shouldn't have played. We all do that. Nevertheless, she never stopped. And she once said to me, you know, we all think we're exhausted and that we have to go and have a long, long rest. She said, but I've spent probably 2 weeks in my island off the coast of Sweden. She said, I'm ready to go back to work again. And I said, yes, it's absolutely true, isn't it?
If you think that you're going to strand me in this ghastly hotel, the hors d'oeuvres are dreadful and my bedroom is an icebox, you are making a very big mistake. You do not requisition my car, is that understood?
I'm sorry, but I must join my group.
Well, take a taxi.
Taxi?
Well, take a horse then. We'll steal somebody else's car. Let us talk about more important things.
Her career had spanned 4 decades. She had worked under a studio system, she had been an independent producer, and for 7 years had made films in Italy. Then she had returned.
Well, you're certainly blossoming out.
Doctor, you once compared me to my cactus plant. Well, every so often, that prickly little thing puts out a flower that some people think...
Through it all, her love for her craft had never diminished. The joy of acting.
Oh, you're terrific.
They would always remain devoted friends. But now, Ingrid's 17-year marriage to Lars Schmidt was over. Career demands had exacted their price.
Miss Olsen, how long have you been interested in religion? From 5 years.
In 1973, Murder on the Orient Express was released. For her performance, Ingrid won her 3rd Academy Award.
And I saw Jesus in the sky, with many little children. But all the children were brown. So it was a sign for me to look after little brown babies. Were your parents religious? They had no respect for God. No. So it was not just a sign. It was also a punishment.
The picture's producer, Richard Goodwin.
On the picture, all the way through it, Ingrid was working in a play, and she was incredibly professional. I mean, she was never late, she always knew her lines. In fact, she was absolutely astonishing in that respect. And it's only just recently that I've learned that she was, in fact, ill. In fact, ill of the disease that she died of subsequently. It's something that I would never have known, and I don't believe anybody on the crew knew it, because as producer, I think I would have heard about it. I think it's astonishing that she was able to keep this to herself and never at any time to let it affect her performance.
If possible, I think I admired the woman more than the actress. I admired this woman who had gone through so much in life, and at this point when we started the film, already was marked by her illness, by cancer, but nobody knew about it. It was never talked about. Ingrid came first, before anybody else, to the studio. She was the last to leave. And even when she had to do things like lying on the floor and put her arms back over her head, which I'm told later is very hurtful after the operation she had had. She never said, I can't do that, I'm not well. Ingrid took her arms, put them behind her head, and did her part.
You were unfaithful. Absolutely not. I was entirely truthful and above board with Papa. I was attracted to Martin at the time and lived with him for 8 months. You don't think that affair was any bed of roses?
Well, it was I who had to remain with Papa every night. It was I who had to console him. It was I who, despite everything, kept repeating that you really did love him and that you really were coming back. It was I who had to open up your letters and read them out loud. Your long, loving, amusing letters, which you told us choice bits about your interesting travels. We'd both sit there like foolish idiots. And how many times we'd go through your letters. We thought there wasn't anyone more special than you.
Eva, you hate me.
Many people, I think, believe that Autumn Sonata, since it was a film about a career woman who had a child, but for a long time also traveled and attended her career, was a film about Ingrid, her life. Obviously, it was not. Autumn Sonata was written by a man. It was a man's view of how a career woman maybe has a lot of guilt for leaving the child at intervals, for mistreating the child by the very fact of her leaving. I don't think Ingrid felt that. I know she didn't feel that this script was her words. I think Ingrid took pride in what her work had been, and she took pride in the way she had been a mother, and I think she took pride in the way she had loved. I think Ingrid believed that a person can have many roles, and you don't have to do all of them to perfection to feel you're doing right. Ingrid had a wonderful way of never looking back at mistakes she had done, you know, shivering with her mouth and feeling bad about it. She would look back and smile and laugh. Sometimes she would have anger, but the anger would never be malicious. The anger would just be, I could have taken that bastard. And she would, you know, laugh. I think it's her laughter I remember the most. You know, the room would just fill up with laughter.
In 1981, Ingrid appeared in a television production, A Woman Called Golda.
Well, if I'm supposed to be the mother of Israel, Earth Mother, or whatever kind of mother, I have the responsibility to be a good one. And what a good mother would say to you now is, it's late, everybody's tired, go home. Mr. President, I'll say good night.
Good night, dear lady. I hope we see each other again soon.
I'm glad you came.
I'm glad too.
So, let me ask, what took you so long?
For her performance, Ingrid received an Emmy posthumously. It was accepted by her daughter, Pia Lindström.
I know that she would be very proud of this award tonight because of what it meant to her to film it. And I'm very grateful to be here to be able to thank each and every one of you for this final tribute to my mother. She will live in my heart forever. Thank you.